11 p.m. and these are the headlines. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, chaired a meeting to review the Tindouf-Zbirat Road project and discuss efforts to enhance trade between Algeria and Mauritania. President of the Republic held a meeting on the implementation of the increase in the tourist allowance amounting to €750. And on the sixth day of his official visit to India, Army General Saeed Shingriha met with the Indian Defence Minister and took part in the opening ceremony of the Aero India exhibition at Yelahanka Air Base in Bangalore. Algeria will host tomorrow the fourth ministerial meeting of the steering committee for the Trans-Saharan gas pipeline project. On the eve, the Minister of State Mohamed Arqab received Niger's Minister of Petroleum to review the latest developments in joint projects, specifically in research, exploration and hydrocarbon production. And the bilateral cooperation between Algeria and Mauritania is reflected this time by the permanent exhibition of Algerian products and the Algerian Union Bank in Nouakchott. Hello everyone, we begin with this working meeting chaired by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, today to review the Tindouf-Zbirat Road project and discuss efforts to enhance trade between Algeria and Mauritania. The meeting was attended by Boualam, Principal Private Secretary to the Presidency of the Republic, Lakhdar Khrouch, Minister of Public Works and Basic Infrastructure, Abed Halous, Director of the Algerian Agency for International Cooperation for Solidarity and Development, Abdelkarim Bouzerd, Minister of Finance, Mohamed Bukhari, Minister of Foreign Trade and Export Promotion, and Said Sayoud, Minister of Transport. The President of the Republic also chaired a working meeting on the implementation of the increase in the tourist allowance set at €750. The meeting was attended by Boualam, Principal Private Secretary to the Presidency of the Republic, Salahuddin Talib, Governor of the Bank of Algeria, Abdelkarim Bouzerd, Minister of Finance, and Abdelhafid Boukouche, Director General of Algerian Customs. Military cooperation now, and on the sixth day of his official visit in India, Army General Saeed Shingriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defence, Chief of Staff of the PNA, was received by Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. During the meeting attended by senior officials from both sides, discussions focused on bilateral military relations and ways to strengthen cooperation in the best interest of both nations. On this occasion, Army General Shingriha conveyed greetings from the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defence. He also recalled the historical ties between Algeria and India, dating back to Algeria's struggle for independence and sovereignty. For his part, Rajnath Singh reaffirmed India's commitment to enhancing military cooperation, emphasizing the importance of this visit in advancing bilateral relations. Always on the sixth day of his official visit to the Republic of India, Army General Saeed Shingriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defence, Chief of Staff of the PNA, took part today in the opening ceremony of the Aero India exhibition at Yelahanka Air Base in Bangalore. Rania Al-Bahri.
On this occasion, the Army General followed the aerial maneuvers performed by the Indian Air Force and some military delegations participating in the event, and the presence of the Indian Defence Minister and important guests from various countries.
Here comes the Varuna formation of Indian Navy. Previous turn, the pilots will experience high G loading as they make the turn with a high bank angle, demonstrating the excellent handling qualities and performance.
During these demonstrations, the General of the Army expressed his great appreciation to his Indian counterpart for the high level of the performances, praising the success of the event, which provides an opportunity for the exchange of experiences and the chance to learn about the latest innovations in military aviation and air defense.
1, 2,
On the sidelines of the event, the Army General Said Shengriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense and Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, held discussions with the Command of the Indian Army, General Upendra Dwivedi, during which the Army General reaffirmed Algeria's willingness to strengthen its military relations with friendly countries, while praising the quality of cooperation with India. For his part, General Upendra Dwivedi expressed India's desire to deepen defense relations with Algeria in the interest of both countries and to strengthen international security and peace. The Army General visited various tents of major companies specializing in military aviation and air defense, where he inquired about the latest innovations and listened to detailed explanations about the used technologies. During his participation in the opening of the event, the Army General, along with his delegation, watched an aerial parade consisting of the latest multi-role fighter jets equipped with stealth technology and smart radars, such as the Russian Sukhoi 57. And American F-35 fighter jets.
Algeria strongly condemned and firmly rejected the Zionist occupation government statements targeting Saudi Arabia, in particular regarding the resettlement of the Palestinian people outside their homeland and the establishment of their state on Saudi territory. In response to these shameful statements, Algeria reaffirmed its unwavering support for Saudi Arabia, standing by its side in this face of any attempts to undermine its sovereignty and territorial integrity. Mandated by the President of the Republic, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, National Community Abroad and African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, arrived this afternoon in Addis Ababa to participate in the 46th Ordinary Session of the African Union Executive Council slated for February 12 and 13. The session held ahead for the African Union Summit will address key issues related to joint African action, including the review of annual reports on the activities of the Continental Organization and its various bodies, the election of members to the African Union Peace and Security Council, the selection of 6 African Union commissioners, the finalization of the legal framework for the African Continental Free Trade Area, and the adoption of the regulations for the African Disaster Prevention and Response Mechanism. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, National Community Abroad and African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, received a phone call today from Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. The discussions focused on the latest developments in the Middle East, in particular concerning the Palestinian cause. The two officials also examined a proposal to hold a ministerial meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation to address the ongoing situation in Gaza. Algeria will host the 4th ministerial meeting of the steering committee of the Trans-Saharan gas pipeline project with the participation of energy and oil ministers from Algeria, Niger and Nigeria. The discussions will focus on progress made in implementing the roadmap, in particular the latest developments following the latest meeting in Abuja, Nigeria. The meeting presents an opportunity to examine various aspects of the strategic project, with particular emphasis on advancing the agreed-upon roadmap. Tomorrow's session is expected to reaffirm ongoing efforts to strengthen cooperation between Algeria, Niger and Nigeria. Energy cooperation on the eve of the 4th ministerial meeting of the steering committee for the Trans-Saharan gas pipeline project, Minister of Energy, Mines and Renewable Energies Mohamed Arqab received Niger's Minister of Petroleum Sahabi Umaru, heading high-level delegation. The meeting focused on strengthening fraternal and historical cooperation between Algeria and Niger, in particular in the energy and hydrocarbon sectors. The two sides also reviewed the latest developments in joint projects, specifically in research, exploration and hydrocarbon production. Discussions also provided an opportunity to address the strategic Trans-Saharan gas pipeline project, with both sides emphasizing the need to continue coordination meetings to assess various aspects of the project and ensure the implementation of decisions made in previous trilateral meetings between Algeria, Niger and Nigeria. Let's have a listen to both ministers now.
We thank our brothers in Algeria for their cooperation. We also appreciate Algeria's accompaniment in processing crude oil and sending specialists to Niger to train Nigerian trainees. We are counting on Algeria's expertise in our current and future projects.
C'est le souhait de l'Algérie. C'est les instructions du président de la République.
It is indeed the guidelines of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, to accompany Niger into becoming an operator in the oil field. And this is what we are going to do. We've already started planning and established a roadmap. We already have 4 successful operations.
4 opérations réussites.
In the framework of economic cooperation, the permanent exhibition of Algerian products in Nouakchott and the Algerian Union Bank were established in recent years, and now they are greatly promoting the level of trade volume between the two countries, reviving by that the economic relations between Algeria and Mauritania. Najah Taya reports.
To boost regional integration and economic ties, Algeria and Mauritania have launched a new cooperation roadmap, starting with a permanent Algerian product exhibition in Nouakchott. As a Mauritanian, I like the Algerian products due to its high quality and affordable price. The permanent exhibition is highly beneficial, especially that it directly reaches the Mauritanian consumer. The shared will and commitments between the two countries contributed to the establishment of the Union Bank of Algeria in Mauritania, an important facility to revitalize the economy of the two countries. The bank gave us numerous opportunities regarding our transactions with factories. The Mauritanian operators faced difficulties in their transactions, but now it's easier and they are satisfied. The bank is already a success. It has a working plan of 5 years. We are now in its second phase. Algeria and Mauritania have made significant strides in the ongoing process of economic integration.
Mining activity is of a particular importance to the state and was a key topic discussed at the recent Council of Ministers meeting. An important aspect of the sector is the Barit mine of Buqaid, located in Tisimsilt province. The extraction of this material from this mine had been interrupted for a few years but resumed in 2018. Rani al-Bahri.
In the hollow cavities of the Ouarsenis Mountains in Buqaid, Barit ore is extracted, a material used in several industries, including oil and gas. It's used as a barrier to increase the density of drilling fluids and prevent gas leaks.
L'extraction se déroule en 2 étapes essentielles.
The extraction process takes place in 2 essential stages: the preparatory phase, which includes drilling to prepare the deposit, and blasting phase, where the ore is extracted using appropriate techniques. This ore is known for its insolubility, meaning it does not dissolve in contact with water. Barit is commonly used in oil well drilling, the manufacture of paint, glass and brake pads, as well as in the production of anti-radiation concrete used in hospitals and certain pharmaceutical products.
To increase its production, the Buqaid unit processes ore extracted from 3 deposits with an annual capacity of 25,000 tons of barit.
Production began in 2024 with an initial capacity of 10,000 tons of raw material this year. There has been intense activity in barit extraction, and the goal is to reach 30,000 tons between 2025 and 2026.
The valorization of mining resources and the increase in barit production aim to meet the national market's demand for this essential raw material, contributing to the development of several sectors.
In other news, the far-right and the scapegoating policy in France are igniting division, with immigrants unfairly targeted instead of real issues being addressed. Najah Tayar explains.
An unhealthy climate is taking hold in France, fueled by the hate speech, the rejection of others, and the repressive policies. From one television set to another, the French Minister of the Interior continues to embrace the most reactionary rhetoric of the far right, indulging in xenophobic and Islamophobic remarks as usual.
Or, ce sont des musulmans, ils sont noirs, voilà.
In a country that upholds freedom, equality and fraternity, a government official openly targeting Muslims and Africans with racist remarks makes the far right's job unnecessary. Bruno Retailleau has already done it. He has become the voice of the worst xenophobes, spreading hatred while immigrants are scapegoated for France's internal crisis.
Yes, there is a problem today of the far right advancing its political agenda, and the best example of this is Bruno Retailleau. So these people are preparing for the far right to come to power. What's the point today of taking up the theories, the thesis, and even go into the same lines as the far right, which you claim to be fighting?
Jamais.
I would never have thought that one day one of my colleagues would be booed for having said that she was the daughter of immigrants.
In France, the rhetoric of the far right has become official. Some observers believe Bruno Retailleau has not only become a spokesperson, but also a tool advancing Marine Le Pen's agenda, paving the way for her Élysée Palace ambitions. I don't think we should listen to the political sirens that today want to lead us into the withdrawal, that want to point the finger at this or that category of society. But on the contrary, we should fully embrace democracy. Democracy is the republic. So let's simply be in tune with ourselves. Let's not give up on our principles. Let's not give up on our identity, which is a plural identity, a diverse identity.
Ne renions pas notre identité, qui est une identité plurielle, une identité diverse.
On television and radio, hate speech continues to be promoted, with Marine Le Pen making inflammatory remarks instead of presenting a clear political roadmap.
En Argentine ou en Pologne, s'il existe des listes d'attente
pour s'inscrire à l'Alliance française de Shanghai, de Tokyo, de Mexico.
Pour s'inscrire à l'Alliance française de Shanghai, de Tokyo, de Mexico.
Ce sont des pantins.
They're puppets, they are useless people, and Marine Le Pen is useless. She's putting everyone to sleep with her nonsense anti-immigration speeches. She doesn't even write all these speeches, and she collects them from former politicians and repeats them.
France's collapse is not the fault of immigrants, but the result of politicians who fueled ethnic and religious divisions instead of addressing real issues, while Muslims and Africans have contributed to building the country. Those spreading hate speech pose the real threat.
And the press community is mourning the loss of journalist Noordin Murdasi, who passed away at the age of 82. Throughout his long career, he contributed to several newspapers, including the esteemed Daily Al-Mujahid. At this time of grief, the Director General of Communication at the Presidency of the Republic has extended its condolences, expressing deep sympathy to his family. He also prayed for Almighty Allah's mercy upon the late journalist and to welcome him into his vast paradise. The Minister of Communication, Mohamed Mizyan, has also extended his condolences following the passing of Noordin Murdasi. He expressed his deepest sympathy to the late journalist family and colleagues, praying unto Almighty Allah to grant him His mercy and welcome him into His vast paradise. To Allah we belong, and to Him we shall return. Amid the ruins left by relentless Zionist aggression, Gazans are returning to what once was home. The rubble holds more than just shattered belongings, but shattered memories of love and shared lives. Despite all this, Gazans are indeed determined to never surrender nor give up their land. Melissa Kabesh with a picture.
Though the scars of war run deep, Gazans, driven by an unbreakable spirit, are returning to their homes, or what is left of it.
Thank God we can finally go back home, even if we already lost everything. We might not have a home, but our land is valuable to us. We have been through a lot during this war. My son fell martyr and my husband has been missing for the past year. We still don't know if he's alive or dead.
Their desire to rebuild, to reclaim their shattered lives is strong, although families bear the weight of irreplaceable loss, tinged with the pain of lost loved ones.
This situation is difficult. We have no water, no electricity, but still we thank God we're back in our land.
Despite all the difficulties, we're hanging on. We are happy to be here after spending nearly a year in the south.
مش عارفين هذه لمين وهذه لمين حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل. توقعتش أنا لما جيت على المنطقة ما عرفتهاش.
It brings us an immense pain when seeing our neighborhood demolished. After living in it for more than 25 years, I couldn't even recognize the region.
أو 25 سنة إلى برعكسها والمنطقة ما عرفتهاش.
Salvaging what little remains, clinging to memories and a strong will to claim what's theirs, a true symbol of resilience and a refusal to be broken.
In sports, during the second stage of the Tour of Algeria, cyclist Hamza Yassin secured the lead and wore the 4 jerseys: yellow, green, red and blue. Meanwhile, the polka dot and white jerseys went to the Eritrean national team. The second stage of the race, which connects Constantine to Sétif, covered a distance of 145 kilometers. That was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon indeed.